Except on the harassment side of the mattress. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Daybreaker.
Good morning.
I have a story to tell. Those of you who have gotten to know me a little bit here at Daybreakers have heard most assuredly that I'm an author of The Art of Meaningful Living. Others may have learned that I'm a psychotherapist in private practice in Houston. Yet, others of you may realize that I had a career in business before I took this circuitous path that led me to be, here's something you don't know, an ordained minister. And so that's the story I'd like to tell today. How did this boy from Lafayette, Louisiana, become an ordained minister? And I really, honestly, and this isn't the psychotherapist in me who has the sort of Freudian bent coming out. It all started in Lafayette General Hospital with this surprise visit by this elegant, lovely woman who didn't even realize she was pregnant until about 3 months into her pregnancy. Much to her surprise, she found herself being rushed to Lafayette General Hospital only 4 months later. 7 months, out came this 2-pound boy that lost a little weight, and I'm still trying to lose it now. And so here I was in an incubator for the first 2 or 3 months of my life, and I had this older sister, 12 years older than me. And I was raised with stories of, well, Christopher, we used to go, and before school, we'd go to the hospital, and we'd come and watch you in the incubator, and you were this little thing moving around, and you were just amazing. And I heard stories like that from my sister all my life. My sister then went on to marry a wonderful man and have 2 children. And I was fortunate enough to become godfather to her second child, her son Nicholas. 21 years later, my nephew Nicholas is about to be married this Sunday. Those of you may have been able to infer from the way I dressed that I kind of like to try to be fastidious about what I wear. And so my nephew Nicholas has looked, Christopher, I've looked around and I've seen Dad, and I've seen Grandpa, and I've seen my sister, and you know what? Would you go with me to pick out my tuxedo? I said, Nicholas, no problem. I said, this is a job I am well qualified for. I can go tuxedo shopping with you, my friend. So we go out, and he comes down to Sugar Land from where he's going to college up in Dallas at SMU, where his uncle happened to graduate. And so he comes down from SMU, and we go tuxedo shopping, and we're picking out vests and bow ties, and trying to pick between peaked lapels and notched lapels, and single-breasted and double-breasted. And we get him all set up, and we get all his groomsmen set up. And his fiancée, a lovely one, said, would you mind picking out the clothes for my dad, too? And so I even picked out the suit for the father of the bride. I was very proud of myself. Thought I really got to contribute, got to pay back my sister for looking after me all those years. Here I'm getting out to help her son. We go to lunch. We're from Louisiana, remember, and so we order a few margaritas at lunch. And they said, "Well, Christopher, they being my soon-to-be new family members, my nephew's fiance and my nephew said, Christopher, we actually had another reason for asking you to lunch today." I said, well, should we wait until the drinks get here before we hear the rest of the story? And they said, well, maybe so, maybe so. So the first margarita got down, and I said, okay, I had my shot of courage. I said, what is it you wanted me to do? They said, we don't know a minister. Would you be willing to perform our marriage ceremony? I cried. Here this boy, who I had seen since he was a child and got to hold, and very much like my sister did with me, he asked me to be such an important part of his marriage, which is to this point the biggest day of his life. So, of course I said yes. Not exactly knowing how you go about becoming an ordained minister. Well, it's not as hard as you think. So I'm at Tiffany's, buying a gift for my wife, and I said, well, I got to get on this whole wedding thing. I got to figure out how you become an ordained minister. So I get on my iPhone, and I said, okay, ordained minister. How do you do? You can apply here online. So here I am at Tiffany, and I said, well, let me put my name and email address in here. Okay. Email comes in. Ding! I'm an ordained minister. Just like that. Now, just a little detail. I happen to have a brother-in-law who's a Jesuit priest. When I explained to him that he and I were now clergy brothers, he was not quite as excited as I was. In fact, he said, I'm so glad to know I wasted 12 years of my life for what you did in 15 seconds. And I thought to myself, first, he's got a very good point. But second, this journey for me, becoming an ordained minister, started in that incubator with my sister, watching me through that window, and every piece of investment she made over what's been 38 years of my life, wanting me to give back to her in a way that she gave to me. And I am so proud that this weekend I'll be performing my first marriage ceremony for my nephew Nicholas. Thank you.